appear. Just bear in mind, you'll always find behind the clouds there's crowds and crowds of sunbeams shining for you. And maybe after a while, the clouds will break and heaven will smile. When days are gray, look up and say, the skies will surely be blue. We all have troubles, more or less, till there's worlds and worlds of happiness behind the clouds for you.
This video of the moon is from the May 15th lunar eclipse. And it's going to be related to a discussion of the Underwood 319, which is a portable, and the poetry of E. Cummings, which connects to my relationship with a parts machine of the Underwood 319. And E. Cummings had a moon poem. O round moon, how do you rounder than round float, holy and rounder than goldenly roundest? Question mark. I love that exclamation point to start things off.
Till there's worlds and worlds of happiness behind the clouds for you.
They're so pretty. But this one has a problem with the backspace. So here's the backspace, and it just doesn't work. Yep, margin release. The reason it's not working is right down in there. There's the mechanism. And I have it taped down. Because if I don't have it taped down, I can't get the carriage to move. A piece of tape. But you can see, right now it's not doing anything. So there is something wrong here, obviously. What I have over here is a parts machine, and we can see the mechanism right here. And this, even though it's a parts machine, that is working correctly. And I can move this very nicely. Without the tape holding whatever this is down, this won't go. Now it will. But when that, so I got a piece of tape to fix it in a way that doesn't actually fix it. But now we can type on it. And it's a good typer. Now, how I got this one to be a parts machine was interesting, because I got this unit first, and I called it E. Cummings machine, because the the shift didn't do anything. There's no up and down on the shift. Well, instead of having an E. Cummings, I got the second one. And the second one came in a case that was a wreck. I mean, it was unusable. Very dirty. I don't even remember what it was like, but it was no good. And this one was good, so I took the case from here, put it over there, and now I have a working unit, except it doesn't have a backspace. So, now some of you may be wondering, why does she call this one an E. Cummings? And that is because E. Cummings was a poet who used mostly lowercase letters, spelled his name with lowercase e and lowercase c for Cummings. So that was kind of a joke. And if you don't know that, maybe you've never heard one of the poems. You see here, I had a type test. This is my E. Cummings typewriter with no shift that is reliable. So that was before I took it all kind of apart. But E. Cummings is a wonderful poet. He's a little bit difficult. I typed up a couple of poems for you to look at. It's better. And so I'll read it to you. Since feeling is first, who pays any attention to the syntax of things will never wholly kiss you, wholly to be a fool while spring is in the world. My blood approves, and kisses are better fate than wisdom. Lady, I swear by all the flowers. I don't cry. The best gesture of my brain is less than your eyelids' flutter, which says we are for each other. Then laugh, leaning back in my arms, for life's not a paragraph, and death, I think, is no parenthesis. I like that poem. I like that one a lot. But the one that really got me into E. Cummings was Dying is Fine, which people found difficult because, you know, he's got issues with weird punctuation and the way it lays on the page. But if you read it aloud, it's not so bad. Dying is fine, but death, oh, baby, I wouldn't like death if death were good. For when instead of stopping to think, you begin to feel of it, dying's miraculous. Why? Because dying is perfectly natural, perfectly, putting it mildly, lively. But death is strictly scientific and artificial and evil and legal. We thank thee, God Almighty, for dying. Forgive us, O life, the sin of death. Anybody who's worked out a estate for somebody realizes the truth in that one. And this is the case. Fits right over. And the whole unit is really light. I mean, I got into these because Gore Vidal liked using a Latera 35. And I was like, how could you write novels on such a thing? You know, yeah, my cat's agreeing with me. How could it happen? So I had to find out. So far, I've pounded out some nice letters on this unit. And they're nice. You know, I mean, it's not gonna stay put, you know. It's light, which is, I guess, the attraction and why Gore Vidal, being the traveler that he was, Just picked it up and went, I suppose. Wouldn't that be nice? So, little type test. No backspace. So, it types pretty fine. It's interesting, if I move back a little bit here, the Underwood 319 emblem doesn't have a capital in it. Maybe that's, prescient that the shift goes out on these things. I don't know. But that's where we're at. And it's a very nice unit. I would recommend it. The Underwood's less pricey. If you get the Latera, it's always going to be a little bit more expensive. But I think the guts, we'll find out next video or so. But I think the guts are completely the same. So.
When your eyes holding back a tear and trouble starts within your heart, things are not as bad as they appear. Just bear in mind, you'll always find behind the clouds there's crowds and crowds of sunbeams shining for you. And maybe after a while, the clouds will break and heaven will smile. When days are gray, look up and say, the skies will surely be blue. We all have troubles, more or less, till there's worlds and worlds of happiness behind the clouds.